What's up guys, this is KhUnlimited. Today I have another video for you guys, and today I'm going to be making a video on Dragonball Xenoverse 2. And if you don't know, Dragonball Xenoverse 2 was announced a couple of weeks ago. I can't remember the exact day, but Dragonball Xenoverse 2 was announced. There was a trailer released for it. There's Google or YouTube Dragonball Xenoverse 2 trailer, you'll find it. There's been a few trailers, but there's one trailer, I think the Japanese trailer, which has the most content. It also has a scene of Xenoverse, Future Trunks kind of talking at the end. But yeah, so there has been a trailer release for it, and today I'm going to be making a video of my top 3 hopes for the game. Now if you watched my videos from the past, you know that I did make a video called Xenoverse 2 feedback a while ago when it wasn't even announced, and basically I would kind of tell you what I didn't like in Xenoverse 1 and I would want change in Xenoverse 2. But the point of this video is that these are the 3 things that I want the most. And that video was a pretty long video, 13 minutes of me going through basically everything I want changed. So this video is just supposed to be kind of be the list that if I could have any 3 things changed, these are the 3 things that I would want changed, and everything else would be fine. So yeah, let's get on to the list. Number 3 is that I want more customization in terms of race. Now when it came to the race, we had Namekian, Boo, a Frieza race, Saiyan, and Human. Now when it came to these 5 races, I don't know, I feel like the only reason they made the races was because they were in the show. They didn't feel very separate. I almost felt forced, or I almost felt like I had to pick a Saiyan to really get the most out of the game, since they have Super Saiyan, since they feel stronger, they're kind of more shown in the series. So I felt like I had to choose a Saiyan. And if I chose someone else, I would feel like I'm not experiencing the game at its best, because there are no transformations for Namekians. There are no transformations or special transformations for humans. From what I know, I believe they could still use Kaioken, but really, to be honest, anybody can use Kaioken. Why would I just choose that race for that? So I felt like I had to use Super Saiyan to get the benefit of Super Saiyan and Super Saiyan 2. And that kind of brings me to my next point. In this third point is that everything should have more customization. Why Super Saiyan 2? Go to Super Saiyan 3. This should be a game where a person could be who they want to be. That's the point of the This game is supposed to be so we could step into the shoes of a character we want to be in the Dragon Ball universe. So if I want to be a friggin' beast that's Super Saiyan 4, could go to Super Saiyan 4, I should be able to. If I want to be someone who could go to Super Saiyan God or Super Saiyan Blue, I should be able to. So just limiting us to a Super Saiyan, which is Super Saiyan 2, which is pretty old in the series now. When you look kind of back at it, kind of makes no sense. So if you really want to add customization to a game and let us be who we want to be, don't just cap us off at Super Saiyan 2, give us Super Saiyan 3, give Super Saiyan 4, give Super Saiyan God, anything you want. And if you're giving the transformations for the Saiyans, do the same with the other ones. Remember, this is a game where we could be anyone who we want, so not everything has to be canon. Just because a Namekian may not have so many transformations doesn't mean that he should have no transformations. Piccolo has turned to a giant before. I don't know how that would be added to the game, but just find a way. If you could make him a bit bigger, or maybe make him a bit bigger, make him a bit stronger, those kind of transformations make sense to the game and would really benefit the game and really want me to be a Namekian. Because after I beat the game, I actually did see some incentive in playing the other races, but after playing the other races for another hour, I just kind of got bored, because there's really nothing that sticks out from them. There are small things where I like the Namekian, because every time he punches, his arms stretch out longer. That's cool. Frieza, I think his blast or his ki blast kind of paralyze the players. That's also cool, but those are little things that each race should already have, but also add something big that someone would like Super Saiyan before other races. So yeah, that was kind of the main thing of races. And overall, try to add more races. A lot of people I've seen want androids, but kind of make them separate from humans. Humans, honestly, they shouldn't be a race, but if you do want to make them a race, give them something. Maybe like a mystic transformation or something. I don't know what you want it to be. Give us something so special. An android should have more android-based attacks, like their arms opening up, becoming turrets, shooting, things like that. Make it seem like it's an android and not a human or a Saiyan. And for the Majin race, why is the fat one the main one? I don't think anyone prefers the fat one over the main one, and the fat Boo isn't the real Boo. The real Boo, the original or pure Boo, is the Kid Boo. They should really base all the Boos off that. And if there was a Kid Boo or a Super Boo race or a way to customize that way, I would have picked that as my first class and not a Saiyan, because I like Boo so much, especially Kid Boo. I love using him in games. So add more Boos, add more races, add more customization to them, and that would be amazing. Number 2 is something I really want to change, which is don't have stats on clothes anymore. And we all know this, stats on clothes is just so annoying. I know they're trying to make this a game that's less fighting and more, what would be, MMO, RPG, more that type of game, but really it just doesn't work with the stats on the clothes, because on one hand, you wanna wear clothes that make you look cool. Like I said, this game is supposed to make you feel like you're a character in the Dragon Ball universe, but you look like a piece of shit because the clothes that look shitty or the clothes that you personally don't like have the best stats. So I'd be wearing like a shirt or like a torso that looks weird in my pants, and then like weird like gloves that just don't match at all. And just looks all weird and just something that I don't like at all. But the only reason I'm wearing them because it just goes with my play style of how I play in Xenoverse. So don't add stats on clothes. Just leave clothes how they are and add another type of way to have stats on you. Now, I remember seeing a few comments before, not on my videos, on other people's videos, and how they would want to implement it. They said in other games the way it works is that there's 2 sets of clothes. So like, yeah, this is what it was. So every time you buy clothes, say there's a torso, and what it does, it increases your speed by 5. Okay, you buy the torso and increase your speed by 5. But to get that increase, you don't have to have that shirt on. You got it. You have the 5 increased speed. Now you could put any clothes on and that stat stays with you. But if there's another torso that has increase of 10 speed, it's not like that adds on. You could switch it with the old 5 speed but still keep any torso on. So basically there'd be 2 categories, clothes and the clothes stats, and you could put any on and switch like that. So I felt like that made sense. I'm sorry if that was a horrible explanation, but you can have stats on clothes, but don't make it stuck to the clothes that you bought it. Just make it that you have to get the clothes to unlock that stat that would stay on you. So I feel like if you do stats on clothes like that, that'd be amazing. And another thing about clothes which I really want is let us see it before we buy it. This was the stupidest thing I saw in Xenoverse. Such a big part of Xenoverse is customizing your character, how you could put on new clothes and look however you want, but you can't even see the damn clothes before we buy it, which made 0 sense. If I want to see a shirt, let me see it. There's some clothes like near the end of the game that I started buying which were like overly expensive, which I think like 2 million zenny or something. I just bought it, I didn't really give a shit. And buying that and wasting the zenny on that when I didn't even know how it looked is kind of dumb. I see some good stats on it. I really want to see how it looks. And make every pair of clothes color customizable. If you play Xenoverse, you know that there's a certain section of clothes that you could actually change the color of. But there's so much clothes that, like, for example, if I buy Goku's gi, it's staying orange and blue. Why? I'm trying to customize clothes. I know I could look like Goku. If I do, I'd buy the gi and keep it orange and blue. But for the most part, I want to keep my own colors. I want like maybe Vegeta's armor from Dragon Ball Resurrection of F, but change the black parts to maybe like red and the white part to like gold. I don't know. I want to make it look like it's my own, not wear his clothes. But why the hell would I want to wear his clothes when I'm trying to make my own character? If I like Vegeta, I'll dress like him. But if I don't, I'll buy his clothes and change the color. So add color customizability to every single pair of clothes and have stats that you could kind of take off and put on. That's my number 2. Now, my number 1 want from Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 would have to be the characters. Dragon Ball Xenoverse felt so limited with the characters, especially because most of them were DLC. Now, when it comes to DLC, I know there's nothing we could do to change that. That's just how the world is now. That's how gaming is. They're gonna stuff a lot of characters into DBZ, even though that's my huge pet peeve with the Dragon Ball Xenoverse game. But even with the DLC, like, I was kind of hyping about the game. I bought the DLC too with it. I got the season pass, so I got all the characters. And even with all of them, it just feels so limited because most of them are such shit characters. Like a lot of the characters, like the Saberman, what's his name, Kui or something, Apule, like those tier characters. So much of them are that. So when I play the other characters, I feel like there's only like maybe a decent 15 to 20 characters I would want to play with that kind of felt good. And that, like, sure, that may seem a lot, but for a fighting game, especially for Dragon Ball Xenoverse, that isn't a lot. And what I'm really glad is that Xenoverse 2 is obviously changing that. When they did start that countdown site that they had for their website, where they had a lot of random pictures flashing up and had a countdown for when the game was going to be announced, apparently all those characters, or they should all be in the game. So they had a picture of some of the Dragon Ball movies, they had some pictures of Dragon Ball Z movies, pictures of Dragon Ball, blah blah blah, and we see that this is coming into the game because in the trailer they actually show Slug, I'm pretty sure his name, Slug, which is a big green, I think he's a Namekian. So they showed him in the game, so that's amazing. We're getting more characters, we're getting movie characters now, and to be honest, that makes complete sense. Dragon Ball Xenoverse was a skeleton that they made the initial game. Now that they are moving on to the sequel, they don't have to spend all the development time on the actual game. All they do are adding a lot of stuff to it. So imagine if they have like a good amount of people just making characters, modeling them, putting them in. We can get a lot of characters. We can get movie characters, hopefully characters from the original Dragon Ball. So much characters. If we get Dragon Ball Super characters, that'd be amazing. I'd love to fight as Hit or Kaba or even freaking I can't remember his name. The robot in Dragon Ball Super. It starts with an M. I'm sorry, I can't remember. Yeah, all the characters, Frost and all, that'd be so amazing to fight as them. We'll have Vados in it now, we'll have Champa. Every single character to have in Dragon Ball Xenoverse. It could be the game with the most roster, or the biggest roster yet, because we have Dragon Ball Super, we have the movies, we have the original Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z. We can have such a big roster, but the only two things I see that could limit this is one, DLC. I can almost see right now that they're gonna be like, Dragon Ball Super characters, get it in the first DLC pack, which is utter bullshit, but what can we do? They're probably gonna do that. And I really don't want them to put a character as a pre-order bonus. I still long for the Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta feel. I love Vegeta. I like using all transformations. The fact that I couldn't get Super Saiyan 4 because I bought the game late is I just can't do anything about it, because it didn't even come out as DLC after, even with the GT pack, which is utter stupidness. So if they are having a pre-order deal of a character, either don't have one or have one and add them as a DLC in the future. So like, please don't just make a character exclusive to a pre-order, because once he's gone, you can't do anything about it. I'm not gonna pay like 20 bucks off eBay just to get a freaking character. So yeah, that's really the main things I want to talk about. Those are the top 3. So 3 was the more customizable races, more things in terms of races. 2 was no stats on clothes, and 1 was more characters. And an honorable mention, this is just kind of one thing that I've noticed. I'm trying to play replay Xenoverse, and that has to be let us restart the story of Dragon Ball Xenoverse. And a lot of people respond with this and say, oh, just go to where Future Trunks is, go to the time nest, and you can replay every single mission. That doesn't feel like you're playing the story again. There's no feeling of progression into that. But what I find stupid is when you go into a new character and you just continue what the old character did. That is kind of cool in some ways, but really, let us keep the old character's items, everything we bought, the money. Let us start the story again, or at least ask us, do you want to start the story again? Do you want to restart it? Because when you're choosing through the list, you're not progressing. The feeling, like the fact that I know that I could just skip to the last mission or skip this mission that I hated is stupid. It doesn't feel like I'm progressing at all. And the fact that every time I beat a mission, I'm just kicked out back to the menu, I have to go to the next one, kicked out. That just doesn't feel good. And what I really wanted just to play again, go from start to finish or however it was, just to play through every cutscene, even the missions that I hate, kind of having the good feeling of beating them again with a new character would be amazing. So that's my honorable mention. Add a way to restart the story without deleting your data. The only way would be to delete your data, and of course I'm not doing that on my PS4. So yeah, that's all I want to say. Those are my top 3 in my honorable mention. Hope you guys enjoyed this video about Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. If you guys have any ideas for what you want Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, let me know down in the comments below, and hope you guys enjoyed this video. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. Remember the possibilities of Dragon Ball are unlimited. Later.